Alrighty, here we go. Let's get the show on the road.
Let's go.
Today, announcements, diving right in. We've got the ROGUE RAD Tin slingers as class on Friday, December 12th. Last week, I did say that we would be doing it on December 5th, which is actually today, even though I meant for it to be December 6th, which is a Saturday. But all of that doesn't matter because now it's December 12th, which is a Friday. We will be doing it as class on Friday. Okay, so it is a partner workout. We can sign up via online. I'll post the link on our social for this upcoming week so that if you want to get signed up with your partner, you can. It is possible to win some prizes via either Rogue or Rad, and I'm going to get the gym signed up as well, which I believe will also make us eligible for some Rad prizes. But we'll go from there. For those that don't know, the workout is a 12-minute AMRAP with a partner of a 100-calorie bike for male-male pairs and 80-calorie bike for female-female pairs. And then it goes into sets of 20 clean and jerks at ascending weights. Okay, so it starts light, I believe, like 135, 95, and then 155, 105, 185, 135. I think it goes up to like 225, 155, and then maybe even like 275 as an AMRAP at the end.
Easy.
It gets heavy. It gets heavy, but that is also the point, and that's why it's, for prizes and money online. So if it was easy, they'd have to give away too much stuff. So and then
sweatshirts order are gonna be on the front desk. So check out which one you want. You got two options, one for just straight up CrossFit Ariac, one for X4. So if you're interested in ordering a sweatshirt, they are only on paper, okay, not on the app. So that means if you want an X4 sweatshirt, you're not going to get it back in the X4 room. You got to go up to the main desk and order there. All right.
Yeah, they with it being two options, we can't put it as a pre-order on the app.
Yeah.
So it's a back to paper for this one. Even though I really liked how we did it with the last like online pre-order, that was nice.
Yeah,
but
that was nice.
We'll get back there. But for this one, it's got to be paper because of the two separate options. I like them both. They both look really good to me. So you can thank Nolan for the ideas behind this one. So probably be picking up at least an Ariac one, if not both. In any case, then we've got the holiday party, which I've been told needs a time. So it'll be starting at 5 p.m. on Saturday, December 20th. As you can see, the game will be on that day.
Also, right after this comes out.
Oh yeah,
that's what it's wearing.
That's where he got all confused earlier. In any case,
well, there's two games.
There's two games, just so we're all aware.
One today, as this is being released, and then one, 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, 1 and 2 weeks on December 20th, which is the one that we're talking about. In any case,
well, the one that you're talking about. I'm talking about the one today.
Okay. In any case, the game that's happening 2 weeks from the day that this gets released, which is also the same day as the holiday party, even though it's a Saturday, the game will be on. I'll put it on the TV. So for those of you worried about missing the Bears game, it will be on the TV. Okay. And then, like I had said earlier, there might be like a couple of like contests or games. We came up with one that I like, and it'll be an ugly Christmas sweater or costume party in which whoever has the ugliest of those listed will win a $100 LSKD gift card. Just like we did with the Halloween party the Halloween party in which Sam Padilla dressed up as Coach Greg and won $100 to LSKD. We will do the same for our ugly Christmas sweater / costume party. Whoever comes wearing the ugliest getup that's Christmas related.
I was going to say, are you going to show up as yourself?
Oh my God, he's so funny.
Quick side tangent. Did you know that I've won a Halloween costume contest by literally just showing up as
yourself, as nothing?
Yeah, just like dressed up as how I was normally going to dress up.
I did not know that, but that explains a lot of your self-confidence. Anyway.
On how it's so high, because I can just win anything I want.
Exactly.
Without even trying.
That's 100% what I was talking
Yeah.
about. Yep. Yeah. Next up.
It was sad. There's a whole bunch of girls, like all little like 5-year-olds who are all dressed up. They come up
Those
and
poor
hand me a
girls.
certificate, and I'm just like, wait, what is this for?
Those poor girls that didn't get to win their holiday costume party. In any case, moving on. Programming. For the upcoming week, what do we got going on, Coach?
Monday looks like some tempo BS, as in back squats, I'm pretty sure. It's going to be a real leg heavy day. Tuesday, we're looking at a longer Metcon, some cardio along with some gymnastics and weightlifting, whole gambit there. Wednesday is going to be an overhead complex, 2 push jerks, 2 split jerks, 1 split jerks, with an echo and some shoulder overhead intervals. Thursday is going to be your favorite, pistol press. Pistol practice. Say that 3 times fast.
Pistol practice.
That was once.
Pistol practice, pistol practice, pistol practice.
Okay, I'm impressed. Then a long EMOM format for that one. Then Friday is going to be the ROGUE RAD Tin slingers and landmine press bodybuilding focus on Saturday. Sunday is going to be a long row along with some body weight movements. So a lot of fun this week.
Yeah. As Nolan happened to mention there at the end, it's a lot of fun fitness still, right? We're still kind of in that in between, obviously here between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So this is really just kind of week 2 of our fun fitness. We've got a little bit of some different work going on. We've been focusing on some split jerks and that type of stuff, which plays into the fact of why I wanted to do this ROGUE RAD Tin slingers event, because it's got clean and jerks in it, and on top of that, heavy clean and jerks in it. So you might have to possibly squat clean, which we did this week, and then also that happened to split jerk, which we will see more of here.
Yeah.
So I figured that the programming, the fun fitness programming, kind of plays into a little bit of what that ROGUE RAD Tin slingers event is doing. I know that some of you even have the deep red and the berry cream colorways. So for the rad shoes that we bought, so that is the Tin slingers pack. So if you're gonna come in and do that workout, wear those shoes. Yeah, because that's cool.
Doing tricks is cool.
Doing tricks is cool. But yeah, so a lot more like fun fitness stuff, and we're trying to incorporate more of the stuff that we don't normally see pretty often, like we saw this week with some rope climb practice, and then we're going to go into some pistol practice in a more of a long EMOM format on Thursday, and we'll finish off the week with that like landmine press and bodybuilding focus on Saturday, which we often do not see, but I do think that it fits well after we do like a heavy lifting Metcon on Friday with
right, which is also the partner workout anyway.
Exactly, which is also the partner workout we'll do on Friday this week. 80% of the reason why we're doing it on Friday is because I'm competing on Saturday, so I will not be around for the class on Saturday. So I know you're upset. So I wanted to be able to do it with you guys. So I will be a part of it on Friday, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I think that hits a lot of it pretty well there. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. So next up, and the purpose of the podcast today, not purpose, but the titular reason of the podcast today, I don't know if that was a word.
Say that 3 times fast.
That one I'm not going to try. Is X4 programming and what to expect. So, Coach Nolan, this is your time to shine. This is your time to use
shine.
that.
That's rough.
That narrative, the absolute novel voice that you have to go into depth on our X4 programming and the different days. So why don't you give us a rundown of what it looks like?
All right, so we got a few different types of days that we're going for. Each has its own specific focus. Just going over the names of them real quick. You got the classic, the strength, the flex, the sprint, the burn, and everybody's favorite, the gauntlet. All right, so we'll go ahead and start off with the classic. With the classic, that means we're going to be going one time at each station. So 4 stations, 9 minutes at each station. We'll have a 90-second X rotation. What that X rotation means is you're going to go across the room diagonally, then go across the room laterally, and then finish off going across the room diagonally again. All right. That's your X rotation. That's your classic day. For the classic day, it's going to be combining lifting, sprint work, endurance, some core accessory movements, and you can really typically expect that to be a full body workout. Now, for the classic day and really for all these things, everything that we're going to be going over for each one of these in particular is going to be more general guidelines. So that's how it's typically going to be, not necessarily how it always 100% will be exactly this, right? So general guidelines and what you can expect from each day. Classic, you can expect typically full body, a little bit of everything, right? Moving on to your strength day, we got 4 stations, same as the classic day, just going one time around the room. This time it's going to be a 90-second clockwise rotation, right? So those typically always stay the same. Those rotations always stay the same. Those time domains always stay the same. Now for strength things, we're typically trying to slow things down, focus on some resistance training, grabbing some heavy weights. Now, these classes are meant to challenge you and to build strength. Every once in a while, you'll see some faster movements, a little bit more cycling on the strength days. That's not your typical, but then if you see that, don't be like, oh my God, what's happening? I thought this was supposed to be a strength day. A lot of this is still cardio based anyway. So keep that in mind. Typically, we're trying to get some heavier weights in your hands on those strength days.
So then that also begs the question of, don't we have like different days within the strength day too?
What do you mean by different days?
So like, don't they separate into upper body and lower body specific and then full body?
Yeah, so every once in a while you'll see a day that's much more focused on the upper body, a day that's much more focused on the lower body, almost in that same type of bodybuilding type modality there, right? So
I think you also mentioned an important topic that I want you to go over a little bit more there. So strength
sure.
is strength days are slightly less focused on the cardio, even though they're still focused on the cardio. But then along those lines, what should a member necessarily be doing with their weights on a strength day, possibly?
I'm gonna guess what you're getting at. But you shouldn't be going for the heavier weights. And typically you should be, a lot of times the movements do say tempo on there. So you should be moving slower with those weights, slower and more controlled, more time under tension is what you're looking for on the strength days.
100%. Even though the music is loud, we want heavy weights, we want slow movement on strength day because they are strength for a reason, and we would like you to build that strength or said strength.
100%. That's a very important one for if you're going to be an X4 member, to take those strength days seriously, because a lot of the time, a lot of the focus is on that cardio and building up that aerobic base. But that strength is very important for building muscle mass and for your longevity. So don't just grab the light weights just because that's what we're used to here at X4 and trying to move as fast as we can, but let's try to slow things down, really get in that grip strength, really get in that overall strength in your body, right?
Yeah. So I would even suggest, as far as to, if you normally use like 20-pound dumbbells, to try to go to the 25-pound dumbbells.
At least.
Or like at least trying to increase a little bit on those strength days to make it burn in a slightly different way than, say, some of the other days that we have yet to get to and talk about are meant to hit us.
Yeah, and it depends on the movement, right? Like
Also
you're going to
true.
be able to grab a lot heavier dumbbells if you're going to go for a deadlift than you are if you're going for something you're going to press overhead, right?
Yep.
So you're going to have to take that into consideration there. So heavier, depending on what the movement is and depending on the day, how you're feeling, that type of thing. But always looking to go heavier than you would otherwise on a strength day.
Yeah.
Next up, we're looking at the flex day. So this is where we get into more stations. We're going to rotate around the room twice. So consider 8 stations, 4 minutes at each station. And the rotation is going to be an X like that rotation for the classic days. But now it's going to be down to 1 minute and 15 seconds. So you lose 15 seconds on that rotation, and you're going to have to move a little bit faster in between those stations. So on the flex day, this is going to be typically more upper body and core focused, designed to push you through higher reps, burnout sets. If you're looking to build some muscle definition, this is kind of the class for you. A little bit more like bodybuilding style, right? So that's what we're looking at on the flex days. Everybody kind of has their different, what do you say, call it their like favorite classes. Flex day is a pretty popular one, along with some people really like those strength days. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for. Flex days can be a little bit nicer because it's broken up. You get more breaks more often rather than being at a station for 9 minutes straight. Sometimes that can be a long time depending on what you're doing, right? So it's nice to have that broken it up on those flex days. Yeah. All right. Going into something similar, but very different.
Similar time domain, very different feel.
Very different feel. The sprint days. That's going to be 8 stations. Again, going around the room twice, but this time we're going to be doing a counterclockwise rotation. Again, that minute 15 on the clock for your rotation, right? So on a sprint day, it's going to be fast-paced, focus on explosive movements. These classes are designed to be a race against the clock through a series of high-effort, interval, and sprint block styles, right? So on a sprint day, what I like to say is every single thing you do is meant to be a sprint. If you want to finish whatever you're doing on a sprint day, you need to be moving fast. Like, even if it says attack pace, which would be 75% pace for you, you would probably want to push it a little bit faster than you normally would on that if you want to finish. It goes into a side note with X4 programming. A lot of things that you'll see on there, a lot of things are put on that screen are designed for you to not finish them, right? So sometimes you'll get people like, man, how in the world is anybody supposed to finish that within that time frame? The answer is you're not. The answer is that it's made so that it keeps you moving the entire time. At least that's the goal. The goal is to be moving for about 40 minutes, and 40, 45 minutes, depending on the class, and then get in, get out, get a good workout in, right? So don't feel bad if you don't finish everything, especially on a sprint day. Sprint day is going to be a little bit more on the extreme side where you're really pushing that pace, pushing those boundaries if you want to finish that. So a lot of work to get done, not a lot of time to do it.
Yeah. I think the big thing there is a lot of us like sprint often in the intervals and maybe like not in just like the AMRAPs or the rounds for time that we see in those rounds, especially on a sprint day. But like Nolan said at the beginning of that, like a sprint day is meant to be a sprint no matter what you're doing. So yes, we see sprints in the intervals all the time on sprint days. That is the point. But the stations that we don't have intervals that are 3 rounds for time or this AMRAP of 20 of this and 30 of that or whatever is also meant to be a sprint. It's meant to be as fast as you can go. So don't forget about that when we hit those sprint days. Just because it doesn't necessarily say sprint next to 3 rounds for time doesn't mean that it shouldn't be a sprint. It's a sprint day. You're supposed to sprint.
Yeah. And two, especially too, when I was first looking at X4 and trying to figure out, okay, where's the big value in this? I would say that between the strength day and the sprint day, those are your 2 big hitters. Those are the ones that you really want to push, and that's where you're going to make your money as far as most bang for your buck here at X4. Like, I mean, as far as everyday consistency is what's going to get you results. But if we're looking to push the margins and in strength, push the margins in speed, that's where your strength and sprint days are going to come in. You want to make sure that you don't miss those. All right. Moving on to the burn days. This is going to be your longest day. You're going to go around the room 1 time, but this time we're spending 10 minutes at each station. Now, we still do have 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock for that clockwise rotation this time. So you still do get that full rotation in, but we're typically going to be starting and ending with intervals, some high intensity on all your machines with some high effort, looking at lightweight and body weight movements. Expect your endurance limits and to be tested, and really you're going to feel the burn on this one. That's why it's called a burn. You're going to burn the most calories, probably leave very sweaty on this one. This is one of my favorite to coach, actually. It is typically one of the highest energy days and one of the days where you can really you can really get going on this one. There's typically a lot going on. Like I said, you're starting and ending typically with like 2 to 3 minutes of either intervals or like a quick off sprint, something like 10 burpees, 30 sit-ups, and then you're sprinting on the machine really quick to end. Something like that, right? That's what you can expect to see on the burn days, with maybe like 5 minutes work in the middle that are sandwiched in. All right. Then yeah, so that's what you can expect out of burn day. Then comes the gauntlet, right? The gauntlet only happens once a month. I think it's typically always on a Wednesday, right? So what we're looking at for the gauntlet, this is also the most complicated. We're going around the room 3 times. The first time you go around the room, it's going to be 3 minutes of work, and then we're going to have a 60-second rotation. The rotation is going to be a clockwise rotation. The second time you go around the room,
counterclockwise rotation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
I didn't read the counter part. But yeah, counterclockwise rotation. So first time around the room, 3 minutes work, 1 minute of rotation. Second time around the room, you're looking at 2 minutes work and 1:15 for that rotation. And your third time around the room, you got 1 final minute of work and you got 1:30 of rotation, right? So the work time goes down, the rotation time goes up. So it does get easier in a sense, but this is typically going to be your most high of class. This is going to be the ones that you can expect to really test yourself in shorter time frames and with that max effort sprint. So what that max effort sprint is on every machine, on the ski, on the bike, on the row, you're looking at calories. How many calories can you get on each machine? On the run, we do it by distance, all right? How many meters can you get on that machine? So if you keep track of this one, this is the way that you can test your fitness in X4. What is it? A shout out to Kevin. I'm going to butcher this last name. Kufal. Yeah, yep. He's done that before. He's tracked his progress, and he's able to see like how much fitter he's gotten doing X4 over time, because he keeps track of how many calories he gets at each machine, how many meters he gets, and he sees that score rising over time. So that's a great thing that I would highly recommend you do. If you get here, you can try to keep track of that and see your progress. You can watch your progress as long as you're showing up for that. All right. So those are our different types of workouts. You got the classic, you got the strength, you got the flex, sprint, burn, and your once a month test, the gauntlet. Curious though, if you had to pick one, what's your favorite to coach?
Ooh.
We already know mine's the burn.
Man,
I love coaching the burn.
I feel like I'm hard pressed between either the gauntlet or the flex. I do normally coach the gauntlet because I coach on Wednesdays, so like I normally have the gauntlet days. So I do really enjoy the gauntlet days because they are, in my opinion, the most hype of days. There's always a good energy going back here, and I try to obviously like make sure that everybody knows that this is the day that we only do once a month, so it's meant to be like the most difficult day and / or the fastest paced day or whatever you want to call it, and also the day that we should be keeping track of our score. So I really like coaching the gauntlet day, even if the logistics of it is kind of difficult to maintain because there's no way on the clock to like
you got to reset that clock.
You have to reset it. Yeah. So I don't love it for that reason, which is why I kind of like. That's why I'm like hard pressed between a flex and a gauntlet day. I do like the flex day because it's just so upper body focused, but it also does have some good hype in it. I like that a lot. It kind of gives it a good pump. And so yeah, so that's I'm in between there. I think a flex day or a gauntlet day are probably my 2 favorite days to really get after it.
You're gonna like this. You know why I'd take a gauntlet day over a flex day?
Why?
Because I'm just like maybe some of the members feel the same way, but on that flex day, when you're doing that X rotation, you're going from 8 stations. I'm like, oh my God, are we doing an X right now? Or are we doing a ladder? Like, I get lost. I'm like, oh my God, I get so turned around. I'm like, wait, what did we do last? What are we doing now?
Yeah.
I try to keep track. I'm like, oh my goodness.
100%. My key for keeping track of that is just trying to focus on one group of people.
that does help.
So like whoever is on the runner to start, I usually just focus
them.
on that and I follow them around the room. I know that they X to the bike, then they lateral to the rower, then they X to the skier, then they come back to the run.
Yeah.
And I also know that like 4 is the halfway point, so you should be like
right back at the start.
You should be back at your start for number 5. And so as long as the runners are back to the runner,
everything should have worked.
Exactly. Then I know that I at least got it right once, and I'm only gonna get it right one more time. So that's my key for flex days.
Yeah, no, that's been I do the same thing. That helps a lot. But still, you catch me on a tired day. I mean, like, wait, who was I following?
Catch me on a sleep-deprived day, and everything changes.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so generally just what to expect in class when you're coming here. We're going to start with the warm-up right on time. So after the warm-up, we go through a little brief overview, what to expect, what we're doing at each station. That would be a good time to ask any questions if you need alternatives, anything like that. Then we'll get right into it, going straight into the workout. And then we typically finish with at maybe minute 45 or minute 50 within the hour. So you got about 10 minutes before we leave. That's a good time when coach, if they have any announcements, they'll let you know, or they'll let you loose and you can get out of here a little early. So that's typically what we're looking for. And yeah, I think that pretty much covers up what we're looking at and expecting on each of these different days.
Yeah.
Right?
I think the only thing that I want to add to that is just the warm-up is a little bit different each day depending on the coach, right? It's also it's coach-led.
It's coach-led warm-up, and coach is coming up with it on their own. Right?
Yeah, and coach comes up with
that's programmed in.
Exactly. So that specific coach, even if say you took a 5 a.m. class and then for whatever reason you wanted to come back and take a 4:30 class, you might have a different warm-up just because the coach is different and they get to come up with their own warm-up for this one. It's a very general warm-up. We're just trying to get you prepared for the day as best we can. But like Nolan said, that is the time to ask any questions. We will also try and go over any scaling options that we know of or need in that warm-up as well.
Yeah. A lot of times we throw those in there and then refer to them while we're doing our brief. Be like, hey, remember what we did in the warm-up? That would be a great option to do if we can't do this or if we're working on this,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good?
I think that's about it.
I think so too.